Hello, Daniel. Started the show at the start like this, folks, but this isn't the first time I've had to wait for my partner to get in here with the camera running.
Sorry I'm late. Sometimes I need to come away because I'm under a lot of stress. I hanged for 30 minutes. There's no excuse now. Wait, you started already?
I was waiting.
Yeah, I know. I apologize to our viewers. Even I've got an outside life doing this stuff. Outside doing the podcast, we all have. Anyway.
Welcome to tonight's 102nd episode of the MegaMets podcast. I forgot to put the Elimination Chamber prediction video in the portfolio.
Yeah.
Anyway, tonight it's New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis 2025, April 5th, Ryogoku Sumo Hall.
Well, we're starting from bottom to top, huh?
Top to bottom, but yeah.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
We'll kick it off with a kickoff match. Katsuya Murashima versus Daiki Nagai. 10 minutes on the clock. It's a young lion match. At worst, we get a draw out of this. At best, Murashima wins.
I'm voting for Nagai.
I'll take Murashima.
With the kickoff match out of our way, we now get to the card itself. First match, 30 minutes. It's a special singles match. Yuya Uemura versus SANADA.
In a rematch of their New Japan Cup Round 1 match where Uemura defeated SANADA, I'm not going to lie, SANADA in recent weeks has shown he's not really a good fit for the War Dogs. He's been very lazy, putting minimalistic effort in. And this includes in the multi-man tag matches between War Dogs and House of Torture, and when he attempted to run interference in the Finlay Evil second round match where he basically botched it. The only reason Finlay won the match and then by proxy the tournament was he managed to beat Evil via a countout.
Of course he did.
But my point is SANADA really a sleeper for House of Torture, or is he just so damn lazy that he just basically reverted back to how he moved and acted in Los Ingobernables de Japón?
To be honest, I don't even have a proper answer for that. I'll be honest with you. I don't have an answer. Me personally, all this does is just get me irritated. I mean if you're not going to do your job, then why bother?
Yeah, if you're going to be this lazy, I'm giving it to Uemura.
Well, I'm probably also going to give it to Uemura because if SANADA's going to be a lazy ass, forget it. It's not going to do us any good.
New Japan World Television title match.
This one's a 15-minute time limit match.
ELP defends against the Great Okan. This is basically Okan's NJC cash-in since he beat Phantasmo in round 1. And he also had him softened up with Phantasmo's
By the way, you might want to also remove the partner running late thing. I'm here now, so let's just do it.
Oh, sorry.
These things happen to the best and worst of us.
I know. Anyway, does Phantasmo get that 5th title defense? In all honesty, when you consider that for the bulk of my time watching New Japan, with the exceptions of the GOD tag title run in 2019, Okada's 2016 to 2018 heavyweight title run, and Zack's TV title run from when the belt was first conceptualized in 23, where he had 16 title defenses, it's not very likely as the bulk of the titles have swapped hands prior to or on the 5th defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Okan actually brings gold to the United Empire.
Yeah, I'm also going to pick Great Okan.
You're up.
Excellent. Now, the 4th match. Oh, yeah, the 3rd match now. Part of the Hiroshi Tanahashi Final Road Connection. Hiroshi fights against Shota Umino.
Umino has been far more aggressive in the last week and a half since getting his head shaved. Made it all the way to the finals, but he still fell short to Finlay. But Finlay gave him a little bit of advice. You want to do things right, you got to do it my way. Be vicious. No respect. Shortcuts if need be, but more or less be a vicious little bastard. And I think Shota's taken this to heart. So I think this could actually be either the first match on this road that Tanahashi loses, or this could be the loss that Umino takes that causes him to snap. Which path are you taking?
That's going to be a tough question. picking Tanahashi.
I'm going to go Shooter.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the next one.
Good grief. Never
Yeah,
openly
yeah.
6-man tag title match. It's Bullet Club Civil War. Taiji Ishimori, Drill Moloney, and Gabe Kid of the War Dogs challenge Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, and Ren Narita. Anyone who knows me knows I don't care for either faction, but War Dogs are the lesser of two great evils. And this isn't going to end at Sakura Genesis, folks. For me, this is ending once and for all, May 4th, Fukuoka, Dog Pound Cage match at Dentaku.
Of course, you're going to be going for that route.
It's the only way to end this, and it'd be most appropriate. On the 13-year anniversary of Bullet Club's creation, part of it has to die.
Yeah, I agree.
That said, I'm taking House of Torture to hold on to the titles. Where do you sit?
For the never openweight 6-man tag title match, Ishimori, Minoru, and Kid versus Sho, Takahashi, and Narita. I'm letting the champs retain.
So you're also going House of Torture.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your turn.
All right, now for the never openweight title, 60 minutes. The champion Konosuke Takeshita in his 5th defense against the challenger Ryohei Oiwa.
In my view, keep the pattern going. 5th defense is not going to happen for Takeshita. I'm going to give it to Oiwa. We can get the belt off Konosuke, and he can focus predominantly on his AEW commitments, at least until July when we get to the G1 Climax.
Yeah.
That's how I see it with this matchup.
Pretty much, yes.
So you're going with the grip?
I'm going with the grip.
Next up, in their first defense of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, it's just called the Tag Titles until this duo loses. Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito defend against the Unite of LIJ, defend against the United Empires, Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
And considering that the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles have swapped hands at each of the last 3 of Spring Events in Ryogoku, and 2 of the 3 have involved the United Empire, let's keep the trend up and make it 3 of the last 4. I'm giving this to Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb.
Figures. We're going to have new teams going to be rising, huh?
I mean, it also adds as a trade-off. We can get the belt off Hiromu so he can get back to focusing on junior heavyweight commitments.
You might be right. I think new titles should be crowned here, so I'm making the same prediction as you.
Crowns up.
Crowns up. Now, we move on to the 7th match for the IWGP Global Heavyweight title. Oh boy, you're not going to be happy with this one. The champion Yota Tsuji in his 3rd defense against the King of Darkness, Evil.
There's always evil afoot.
Evil's always afoot. What do you want?
No, I was doing a SpongeBob joke and a little tribute.
Yeah, you did. You nailed that one well enough.
Still, it's a shame that Ernest was mostly known for that character before he died.
I know.
He was a much more versatile actor than that. This and the main event are basically tied into one another as to the key of supremacy. Does one leader screw the other out of winning the title they chase?
Mm-hmm.
In my view, with Finlay doing it to Evil, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as Finlay poured his heart and soul and blood into making the IWGP Global Heavyweight title, he now has bigger fish to fry. So, and with Tsuji basically on his back foot going into this one, this is tricky.
Yeah.
As much as I want to see Finlay screw over Evil, I really don't see it happening. And when you consider HOT interference, Bushi being little more than cannon fodder, we don't know what Shingo's up to, and the fact that Hiromu and Naito are going to be too damaged to try to help in mitigating House of Torture interference. As much as I hate to say it, Evil is walking out with that global title in hand.
Yeah, you're right. Much to your dismay.
And now, the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. In his third defense, Adamusha, the Furious Samurai. Back in the Hontai, Hiroki Goto defends for the third time, as he defended against Tanahashi at the anniversary, and during the New Japan Cup Tour, he defended against Yuji Nagata, against the 2025 New Japan Cup winner, the leader of the War Dogs, the Savage King, the Goat Slayer, the uncrowned monarch of New Japan, David Finlay. If they're going to really set up the incentive for a Bullet Club Civil War, they need to pull the trigger on Finlay getting screwed out of it by HOT interference. Now, granted, this is not the way Goto would want to win a match, given that his character is more heavily influenced and tied down by the tenets of Bushido.
Indeed.
But going into this, this match is essentially the rubber match. Goto defeated Finlay during the G1 34 in Korakuen Hall to get an IWGP Global Heavyweight title shot. 2 months later, Finlay denied him and also made Goto's 5-year-old daughter cry.
Wow, that's low.
She and her brother were in the audience. So once again, basically in the same front row seat that his children had in October, Goto has to put on the performance of a lifetime to beat Finlay and definitively continue the Goto revolution. Because if he loses, being champion for only 53 days, that's an equivalence to a cup of coffee. 54 days, that's only a cup of coffee. And I mean, granted, yes, I know this is practically going to be the one and only time Goto stands atop the mountain. But do you really want to end it this quickly?
Maybe.
In my view, I say no to that. Heads, Finlay, tails, Goto. Say what? Say when, partner.
Yes, indeed. If I'm gonna pick, the challenger's ready to climb it up and go for it. But sadly, I feel he may not have enough. So if I'm gonna be blunt, I will have Hiroki retain.
Well, I'm gonna flip it. Say when.
When?
I'll be damned. Coin lands on heads.
Wow.
Much as I don't see it happening when you give the storyline of Bullet Club Civil War, might as well roll the dice. I'm taking Finlay. But if the House of Torture interference does come, does Shota Umino come to the rescue and basically join the War Dogs? To that, heads yes, tails no.
Flip it.
It says the coin says no, but I'm gonna say yes.
Why not?
Because it sounds like Finlay sees potential in Umino to make him a War Dog. He fits the bill. He's an under 30-year-old wrestler at 27, going on 28. He's had opportunity after opportunity, screwed it up, so it's left Shooter with a massive chip on his shoulder. And lately, he's become far more aggressive.
Yeah.
So And if SANADA is not really panning out, add Shota Umino to the War Dogs. That's the only way I could see this playing out for Goto to win. House of Torture interference. Because if both leaders win, it adds a lot more intrigue to the Dentaku Day 2 event.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking Goto. I've got Finley. That's it for tonight's MegaMets. We'll be back at some point in the next couple of weeks to predict AEW Dynasty. And after that, Windy City Riot. In the following week, Windy City Riot. And then the week after that, and we'll probably do it on Good Friday, our predictions for WrestleMania 41.
Here we go.
That's it for tonight's MegaMets. Comment, like, and subscribe to both our channels. Also join me on the ADFN. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Bang. And I'll see you then.
Later. I'll get it set up soon.